Hi everyone. So there's some news coming out of Holland yesterday, I think it was, that is really good news because it looks like the Holland government, the Netherlands government, has ended their participation in the funding of the propaganda construct in Syria, the White Helmets. I've covered this organisation in many videos so far. We've also set up a petition in the UK. So I'll leave that below if anybody hasn't signed it, to stop our funding of the White Helmets. Our country, the UK, has funded this organisation to over £50 million. This is something I've covered in videos before. But the latest revelation, the Moon of Alabama was reported on, the brilliant Moon of Alabama, by the way. They say the Dijk Breaks Netherlands end support for the White Helmets terrorist propaganda. Okay, the article says this: the Netherlands has just announced that it's ending its support for Al-Qaeda's propaganda gang, the White Helmets. It also ends its support for the so-called Free Syrian Police. Last week, the Netherlands shut down its, quote, non-lethal support for the Free Syrian Army after Dutch news organisations found that members of these groups were accused of terrorism by their general prosecutor. According to the Volkskrant Daily, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs ended the support for the White Helmets after its Directorate for International Research and Policy Evaluation issued a critical report about them. For the White Helmets, which had received €12.5 million from the Dutch government, it lists the following issues. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the supervision and behaviour of the rescue workers is inadequate. The organisation that supervises, Mayday, based in the Netherlands, is closely intertwined with the White Helmets itself. In practice, donors do not understand the difference between the two organisations. Mayday wants to spend a maximum of 0.9% of its budget on supervision of the work of the White Helmets. That's why there is a lack of independent supervision of the activities and results of the project. The money for the White Helmets is transferred to the Syrian border in cash or enters the country via the Hawala system. It is problematic that Mayday does not know how much money is paid via which route. That is why there is a danger that money has fallen into the hands of armed groups. The cash flow can also indirectly be used for illegal trade. Systematic control of money flow is missing. I've reported the great work of people like Carla Ortiz, who went to Syria and found that in Aleppo, I think it was, when they had the humanitarian corridors, Syrian civilians were coming out of Aleppo, and she was saying to them, what about the White Helmets? Are they great? And they didn't understand who are the White Helmets. So she showed a picture of them, and lo and behold, she said they're with the terrorists. The people on the ground in Syria who came out of Aleppo were saying, these are the terrorists. They're working with the terrorists. They don't help the civilians. It's something I've covered a lot in many videos. The article continues: the White Helmets are active in areas where armed groups are in power that are considered unacceptable for the Netherlands. Contact between the White Helmets and local administrators who work together with the extremist organisations is inevitable. So they've basically said there, hey, we're worried about the activities of this group because all is not well with them. It continues, the Volkskrant notes, it is the first time that a Western government states that there are problems with the project. US ceased funding for the White Helmets earlier this year, but reinstated it after a month. But that wasn't because they were citing problems with the White Helmets at all. It was something else. Article continues, it will not be the last time. More people will take note, look into the issue and pressure their governments to end their support. Which is why I did the petition. As the Dutch know well, once the dikes break, it is impossible to stop the flood. The relentless work of a few engaged writers put pressure on the dike and finally broke it. The White Helmet scam will soon come under a flood of public scrutiny and will be swept away into some dark corner of history. I hope that is true. I hope that either governments are going to stop funding this organisation, which, let's face it, are working hand in glove with the terrorist organisations in Syria trying to overthrow the Assad regime, as they put it, which I can't stand them calling it a regime and then calling the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's a real bugbear of mine. But anyway, I'm really hoping that is going to take hold, and other countries and other people are going to put pressure on their countries to stop the funding of these White Helmets. Well over $100 million they'll be funded by countries such as UK, US and the Netherlands, along with a few others that have chipped in. I really hope that either that is going to happen, or Idlib province is going to be taken and Syria can say, hey, we've won the war and the terrorists are gone and there's no need for the white helmets anymore. I really hope that either of those two things happens. My worry is there are a lot of reports that a chemical attack in Idlib has already taken place. The filming of a chemical attack, and there were reports that the White Helmets have filmed it. I can't verify any of them, but there are lots of talk, and there has been for some weeks, about a false flag chemical attack happening in Idlib, which would obviously incur the wrath of the trilateral bombing nations of France, UK and US, who have promised to bomb Syria if it happens again. Regardless of who actually perpetrated it, they're just going to blame Assad. I'm hoping that this is all going to stop now, and there's enough pressure on the governments who are funding them, there's enough information out there in the mainstream for the people behind this White Helmets propaganda construct to say, okay, another chemical attack, false flag, is just too dangerous. I'm really hoping that they are disbanded before they get their last swan song of filming of a chemical attack in Idlib and blaming Assad for it. I really hope that's the case. I'm not too hopeful of it. What's going on in Syria at the moment is an absolute mess, to put it mildly. This is something I've covered in other videos as well. Don't want to ramble on too long. Just wanted to quick report just to say this is good news. Hopefully we can keep putting pressure on our governments to stop the funding of this organisation. Hopefully people, well, I say hopefully, I know people like Eva Bartlett and Vanessa Beeley and others are going to continue to highlight the fact that this is an organisation which is extremely dodgy and working hand in glove with the terrorists, and there's no effing way our tax money should be going to support them. I'll keep you informed on it, but this is pretty good news, I think. If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and click the bell below. Independent media platforms like mine are being censored by giant media such as Facebook and Google, so we rely on you, our audience, to share our work and spread the word. If you can, please support us on Patreon. You can do it on my channel for as little as $1 a month, and every bit helps. We cannot do this without your support. Thanks very much for your support. It's really appreciated. Until next time, peace and take care.